and welcome to the Harmony of Mind podcast. So now Harmony of Minds podcast is a mental health initiative by Harmony of Minds that brings about mental health awareness through the creative arts. Now, Harmony of Minds is for the creative, by the creative, in the creative sector. So when we talk about the creative sector, we're not talking about not only Suji, just music or poetry or dance. We're talking about acting, we're talking about medicine, we're talking about innovation. And so today we're having something that we are calling the recap. We're having a recap of 2025. Happy New Year, everyone, by the way. Yes, so we're having a recap for 2025. We had a research project that we wanted to work on where we had conversations with 30 different creatives, and we talked about so much information in the creative industry. We had dancers in that, we had models, we had fashion designers, we had even one from Spain. We talked to different people, and it was such a journey, such a great journey, having such conversations and such authenticity on the podcast here with us. But again, as we're working on that research of the other 30, the 30 individuals and creatives that we talked about, we got to realize that, mental health is actually a necessity, because as much as the creatives that were on with us here in studio, most of them were resilient. Most of them they loved the thing that they were doing. They were so passionate about, their creativity. But as a community psychologist and someone that is passionate about mental health, there are just certain challenges like like job insecurity, poor working hours, whereby creatives work, in the wee hours of the night. They have like unstable schedules. They have unstable structures, and because of that, there is just something that it sort of destabilizes their mental well-being, and that is where we come in. We come in to give you the mental health awareness. We come to give you the mental health information. We come to give you voices. We come to give you information that you need, stories that you need, so that your passion doesn't become, a mental health challenge, but something that, puts you in the space or in the need that you really need to be in. So today we're going to be with Emma Byaruhanga, who's who's a brand strategist, and who has so much knowledge with different brands. He has worked with so many brands, Total. He has worked with Acacia Mall and so many brands, and so he's going to be talking about himself. Yes, please, Emma.
Hello, viewers. Emma Byaruhanga is my name. I'm a brand strategist, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
Yes, us too. It's a pleasure. I thought you were going to talk about, okay. But yes, so Emma is a brand strategist, and I'm also very happy to see you here today.
Thank you.
But when we were talking about how this recap is going to be, and how we're seeing how the creative sector has been, we had some research to do, and it was a task that was cut out for us. Not only looking at maybe music alone, not only looking, but you as a person who has been in brands, and I know you have been seeing all these other creative brands. How do you see the creative business? How did you see the creative business in 2025?
Well, first and foremost, the creative industry in Uganda contributes about $2.2 million US. Wow. In Uganda alone. That's what it contributes. But surprisingly, 67%, actually it's about 67% of the Ugandan young people are in the creative sector. But you see the contribution that it brings to the industry.
Yes.
It further spills something that is not right, And you find that when I talk about the creative industry, it has a lot to do with film, performing arts like music. It has to do with fashion. It has to do with art. It has a lot to do with tourism.
Yes.
And you find that it employs a lot of the youth and the women in this nation.
Yes.
But it's something to note that last year there has been a growing trend of many young people running to the creative sector to find something to do. I could, for example, give an example. We had a growing trend of young people installing, downloading TikTok. That explains why we had over 8.8 million accounts of TikTok in Uganda alone. So that alone is speaking something. But you find that, yes, there are many that are consuming, but then you find that there are many that are using it for e-commerce as well. So we are in an era that I could call the AI era. Just as there was the Stone Age era, then the agricultural revolution, then the industrial revolution, and you keep on seeing that every revolution keeps on leading to the to the other.
Yes.
And each of those informs the other. If I'm to bring us a little bit closer, there was the information age, where it was all about using information to sell your products and services. Whoever seemed to know their product much more would attract more clients. But now we have seen people embracing so much of the social media, and then now quickly in AI has taken
over now.
Yes, over right now, and you find that it's being integrated into the algorithms that then dictate what you see at what time. Yeah, you know, that dictates how some applications will operate even away from social media itself.
Yes.
You find that so many people are integrating AI into their websites. We are having a lot of bot chats that do now the customer service.
Yes.
We are having a number of people using AI to create content, to create films, to create songs, to create a number of things, to create photos.
Yes,
you know.
true.
So you really get to see that we stand in a time of an opportunity arising, but you must be knowledgeable enough to be able to sail with a wave.
Yes.
Otherwise, last year, some people really, especially in the creative sector, some people never embraced it, thinking it was here to steal away their jobs.
Yes.
But it's not here to steal away their jobs. It's there to help and easen your processes.
Yes.
Easen, prompt it, use it to the very best that you can to be able to do work faster, or even to do many tasks in the shortest time possible.
Yes.
So for me, I think last year was a time of testing to so many of the creatives. Some that onboarded AI are already reaping big out of it, while some others that are still tied up to the traditional way of doing things, some of them, yes, are gaining ground, but it's time that they onboard what's really determining or shaping the future. Yes.
So right now you're trying to say that the future is AI, and creatives and innovators should embrace the new movement.
Yes, the future is AI, but however, there is a growing tendency of people wanting AI to replace their thinking, them using their brains. There was a recent saga that happened to one of the so-called big five companies. I don't know whether you've heard about that terminology before.
Yes.
Yeah, and these are, I could give an example of Deloitte. There's, there's another one, I've forgotten though. Yeah, but some of those big five companies, in one of those developed countries like Australia, one of them happened to one of those firms.
Yes.
Had to analyze and create a report for a particular nation, and they messed it up. They used AI, and
They did not
after prompting AI to create for them the report, they never proofread. There were errors in there, and they submitted the report.
Wow.
And these people discovered that it's AI that had created this. And guess what? That was one thing that would help each one of us here to really get to understand that AI can never replace a human brain.
Human mind.
Yeah, so therefore, AI is not here to take our jobs, but we are meant to use it as a tool to fasten the rate at which we can do work, or to help ourselves do things in the shortest way possible, and then just have time to proofread and put in a few things here and there. Yeah, so that's what I can say about it.
Oh, wow. So when we talk about the creative business in Uganda and how, you know, it has transitioned from people going to media, to mainstream media, that is radio, TV, and now it's transferring to using now social media to promote music, to promote, you know, products, even if it's like someone has gotten like a new product, a medical product, they used to go to TV, but now they're using influencers to, you know, to market their products. What do you think is the future for marketing in AI?
One, let me first give this insight that I noted from Play Store. Actually, no, it was Apple Music last year. At the end of last year on Apple Music, one of the highest trending songs there was an AI dance song.
Wow.
You see? So that alone is just there to inform you something. We are seeing a growing trend of people using AI to create music. But then it's important that we as creatives try as much as possible to use it in ways that are responsible or in ways that don't really are not against the ethics, the real work ethics. Yeah. So it's really important that we get to use AI in the best way possible, that we can be able to do things in ways that are acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think because I remember I was watching this is just like a side note. I remember I was watching a video, I think a reel, because nowadays I'm on so much on Instagram. So I was watching a reel whereby people had turned libraries or even old churches, they had turned them into like places where people came in, and then like the phones were away, and then maybe they are knitting. There are those like communities of like in-person actually inhabitation. Do you think like AI is going to push people to now have more time for community, like in-person community, whereby because now they're going to be spending less time, you know, drafting the email, so they'll be prompting AI, you know, this work is done, like something that could have been done maybe for 3 months, it can be done for 1 month or 2 months, and then there's that extra time. Do you think like AI with this tool that is obviously simplifying a lot of people's work, even writers, filmmakers, do you think it's going to bring us to that point? Because now we are seeing it in the developed countries, whereby they're now starting to feel the need to sit as a community at a library, have like these different clubs whereby they're like, you know what, no phones this time, because now phones began being like working tools as opposed to being social media tools like they used to be.
One, for me, I really think that for everything that is out there in the world,
Yes.
it has the good side and the bad side.
Yes.
Now, with the good side, it depends on, they say that beauty lies in the
hands of the beholder.
Yes, in the hands of the beholder.
Yes.
So it also depends on you. If at all you have that kind of evil mind, obviously you're going to use AI for the bad reason. For example, we have seen people creating videos that they know that you don't subscribe to a certain kind of party, but they will try to create something that depicts you as if you subscribe to that party. You've seen all that.
Yes,
now,
yes.
think through it. What is in the mind of such a creative that uses AI to create things that are against all, or because they have selfish interests, or because they want to lie about something, you know? So AI is here to really help us see how best we can be able to, one, simplify or do certain processes faster. Let me give an example. For example, there are many people who are using it to market. There is an e-commerce company here in Uganda that created an ad that there was no real person, but they used an AI video creator. They prompted it with words, and they used imagery of people that were black, so it makes you think that it's a
Was
real
Uganda.
person. But it's not a real person. And they cut the budget of which they would have used to pay
Yes.
actors or
Actors
people that would be in that ad. So you see that in one or the other, it's simplified work. As well as at some point, okay, an actor may be like, oh, someone who does those commercials will be like, now my job is at risk. Now, to be honest, no one can replace creativity and no one can replace someone that is so good at something.
Yes.
If you stand out at what you do,
Yes.
AI will never replace you. For example, Canva came, it hit the peak at about 2024. And at that point in time, some graphics designers were like,
They have taken a-
tuwedeo. But AI has Canva has a limit to which you can be able to use it to be able to pull off
what an
a certain
original,
original piece can look like.
Yes.
So whether we want it or not, AI is not there to take our jobs, but it's there to help us do some good things. Yeah. And I mean real good things.
Actually,
and let's let it for the negative people or the people that wish this country bad or that wish the world bad to use it for evil. Because you find that, for example, nowadays in the manufacturing industry, they have started, they create garments or overalls with sensors all over and with those wires connected and all that. They want to study the movement of the workers as they are assembling a car. Now, as they do that, AI is picking those movements, is analyzing that data to see how they can create robots and give them that kind of thinking in terms of how to handle certain things, how to move, at which angle do you turn this and that. So in the long run, it's going to help simplify about so many things. Some of those manufacturing operations, medical operations, I mean, a heart surgery. Just imagine a heart surgery being done by robots. It is possible.
Wow.
And actually, there are sort of experiments that are being done, yes, in the UK, of things like that. So it is really high time that we up our game in terms of doing what we do to the very best. That AI cannot beat us, or robots that have been created cannot beat us. And we shall still coexist with those robots or with the AI.
This is that the AI movement is going to bring an end to capitalism, I guess. I don't know. But if, for example, now a robot can maybe do surgery and everything, then maybe the doctors will be, maybe putting their like energy in maybe getting to know like medicine. They're just those things that I don't think AI can really perform.
Yeah.
That is like true innovation, because the innovation is done by the human being.
Exactly.
So I believe the future is innovation, because now if AI comes in, then meaning it's going to push us to more and more innovation, that is more problem solving.
Exactly.
And there could be reached a certain point whereby capitalism has been put to a reduction, because now many problems have been solved by innovators.
Exactly. Because now, just to look at Africa at a glance, Africa has had the best time ever to exist. Actually, the time is now. If we can all jump onto this boat of AI right now, I'm telling you, Africa would be at another whole level. Because when you look at statistics of the most skilled people right now in the whole world, you see Africa is among those continents that ranks top there. And what does that mean? Now that even we are having the whole internet infrastructure almost being well distributed across all the coastal borders of Africa, you find that now countries just have to make sure that they have good internet penetration to the different villages, to the different cities and all that. And if us young people can take on that, the fact that there is internet and the fact that we have now smartphones and use that to the best of knowledge, then we are able to amplify what we can do. If you're too skilled and you add on your phone, you add on information that
Yes.
is well documented,
Yes.
and you add on AI,
Yes.
then you can take your grind to the next level. So I feel it's an opportunity for Africa. Before, it wasn't really so much, and whatever was existing wasn't really right for that era of AI. But I think right now where we are, we have no excuse.
Yes.
Yeah, but literally we have no excuse, but literally we have the opportunity to scale whatever we do here in Africa. As creatives, we have potential to scale. I mean, someone before used to sit down and create a caption for their video.
Yes.
And nowadays with AI, you're able to create a well search engine optimized post that is going to reach out to millions because you have used AI, you know?
And visibility
Exactly.
is the issue.
Yes, visibility is like the new currency. Without it,
Yes.
no one is going to order your products.
Yes.
Without it, no one is going to remember. One of those companies that we know so much, Coca-Cola,
Yes.
spends huge budgets in marketing. I mean, they sell a lot of soda, but they market every other day. Why? Because they want to keep on being in your face.
Yes.
That each time you're thirsty, you remember, okay, I think I need a drink.
Power of visibility.
Yes. So visibility is key. Yes.
So when we talk about the creative industry and how obviously the challenges that people in the creative industry go through, that is, lack of support mainly, even like institutionally, the schools are not supporting creativity. I think now they even changed the syllabus. Now there is a way they change the syllabus to creativity.
Yeah.
But now, is it really, like putting us on the global scale in Uganda? Because when we are to talk about like us who like had the other system whereby it was about books, studying history, which is good because history teaches you a lot, whereby we studied like you're learning history, you're learning all these other things. But again, now we are in an era whereby it is entrepreneurship, innovation, creativity. You see like more jobs that are taken, like jobs were not taken seriously before, like now in the music industry, like now being an influencer, being a TikToker was looked down on, and now how people are seeing it as something that is durable and needed, and how also how fashion was seen as something that was really not necessary, whereby people, they were like, oh, tailors. But nowadays, there's a tailor, there's a fashion designer, there is, there are all these other segments just for the fashion industry. There are all these other segments and all these small niches in the industry. And also when we talk about maybe like creativity, like in design, like where nowadays interior designing, decor, you talk about just, chairs, like nowadays, like just doing furniture so has its own, niche format in like just architecture. What do you think should be the resilience story for a Ugandan creative? What should they be looking out for in this creative economy? And what, because now when we talk about like the resilience stories, like how people, especially the millennials, have transformed their minds. They have self-taught things that they did not learn in school. So they have done better research. They are constantly online. So that is building like this kind of like resilience. Like, there is this challenge here. We're not told to face it, but we're going to face it ourselves. So what is the future for them?
Now, as a matter of fact, always it has been that for creatives,
yes,
the education sector for a very long time
yes,
does not make the best of the creatives out there.
Yes.
Why? Because you find that we are taught more of things to do with history, things to do with other countries that are not Africa. Like I remember we studied the Canadian prairies. We studied a lot of that stuff from those countries,
European history.
Yes, European history.
Yes.
Which literally does not really give so much, of what someone really needs in this time, in this era.
Yes.
So you find that as creatives in this time, one of those things that we have had to learn to help us cope up has been working together
Yes.
with different people, because it's through working together with different people that then we have been able to explore different opportunities. We have been able to get different people that have pushed the others. Before there is an influencer, there was someone that influenced that they may be known. So we ride on each other's shoulder.
Yes.
Like you having me here, my audience will watch this,
Yes.
and at the same time will also push it on. Yes. So as we continue to collaborate together as creatives, this teaches us that indeed it's the time that we have to work together to earn even much more. You talked about something the change in syllabus recently in Uganda here. You find that, for me, I loved that because it has the aspect of teaching kids to work together, because you find that they give them projects to work on.
Together, yes.
But then also it helps young people start to appreciate the uniqueness of everyone.
Yes.
Because one is good at something and you're not good at something, but because you're working together as a team, you excel together. So that is teaching a valuable lesson to the young children out there.
Yes.
And I think it's also teaching them to see how they can begin to monetize the things they do, to innovate with something at the back of the mind, knowing that I must get to understand whom am I creating this for, that will be able to buy it at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So our young people are actually being blessed.
Yes.
Yeah, that they are studying things that are at least more relevant to the kind of era that we are living in.
Yes.
And as creatives also, it is important that we basically look at ways through which we can begin to pick on some of these opportunities. For example, there was a time the president spoke, I think this was just a threat, but he said that they were going to stop importing second-hand clothes. But we have had some African countries already do this, like the likes of Botswana, and I think Botswana. Yes, but there are some other countries that have said no to those second-hand clothes. And you find that because they said that, there are a few designers that are creating for their market, you get. So even us as fashion designers, it's high time that we woke up and thought of the different designs we can create for our Ugandans, because
for our weather also,
exactly, for our weather. And since time memorial, fashion has always been a way of expressing identity. So we need to use that to embrace. For a very long time, the West has been imposing, the West, not the Byaruhangas, the West, yes, the Western world has been imposing its cultures on us, the Africans. And yet we have very rich,
more diverse rich
diverse culture. And you find that now, even some of those big brands, they are benchmarking on some of the things of African culture to create clothes. I mean, I've seen some artists come up with a label whereby a shirt is like a rag. But some of those things are being benchmarked from the Stone Age era, you know? And we are just looking. Fashion designers need to wake up. This is the time.
This is the time
to wake up.
And I agree with you, because right now we are, in an era where I think the Africans are starting to hold their own story and not letting it all go out, obviously thanks to social media and also AI, that now Africans are telling their own story. And also it has changed the narrative. Like when you talk of Aisha Speed, when he came to Africa, like people were crying, I cannot believe Africa. This is Africa. It's so beautiful. The narrative that they were giving to, these other countries in the West, like as if we are struggling. And every country struggles like any other country. Africa is struggling like how Europe is struggling. Africa is struggling like how America is struggling, how China is struggling. They're just those, these kind of like systematic struggles, but also individual struggles. And how now Africans are taking back their own story. But I'm seeing it mainly in West Africa. like they take their fufu, their
Yeah.
jollof rice,
Yeah.
their pigeon, their Usmanya Wari English, and all of that. And I think it's a beautiful thing for us to see and notice that that Africans are taking. But when we talk about East Africa, I feel as if we are not there yet.
Exactly.
That is my
Yeah.
feeling. What do you think as Africans? I remember I asked this question to the manager of Sauti Sol in Nairobi, and then he was saying that Africans, as East Africans, we should learn how to love each other. Like, it's like as if we do not like who we are.
Yeah.
So what can you tell a creative out there? Why am I even talking about this? Because I remember I was telling a designer to make for me a cloth in Kikoi. Like, I know that's so common. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it has to be everywhere,
Exactly. Yeah.
because it has to be on the streets. Like how maybe you go to India and then you expect a sari to be there, whereby everyone is putting on a sari. Where you go to, to the US and they have their winter thing. They have their, you go to China, they have their kimonos. So how can we encourage creatives to fully embrace and love the African story and narrative and culture and diversity and beauty? Yes.
So that reminds me of a famous saying by someone that in Africa we are very hospitable.
Yes.
And let me zero it down.
Yes.
In Africa, I think Uganda ranks highest when it comes to being the most hospitable country.
Yes.
They will see a Muzungu and they will be like, hey, how are you, sir? Hey, would you want me to direct you? Can I go with you? In fact, even though they were going the opposite direction, they will escort them to take them to wherever they were going,
Yes.
But you find that, honestly, we don't love each other as Ugandans.
Yes.
And that applies to also the general East Africa. You find that, yes, to a larger extent, we really don't love each other, because it's the reason as to why you see corruption so rooted. It's the reason as to why you see that the income inequalities are too huge, Why? Because we literally don't take on that whole brotherhood spirit so serious. Yeah, like how the Nigerians are beginning to do so. At some point, the Ugandan music industry was booming so fast, and we were at the topping charts in different countries, on the different music scenes and all that. But all that died down, and the Nigerians who are working collaboratively have now taken up, the flag. That just shows you that we're literally not working together. You find that Nigerians are working together to see that they continue to pull each other.
Yes.
While on my recent trip in Asia recently, I noticed that as we were at a restaurant having a meal, we sat together as Ugandans, and for him, he was sitting with, there were some people from different other countries, but there were also some Nigerians, but he kept on emphasizing to his Nigerian colleagues, you know what, you can come start something here, I can support you, give you accommodation for at least the first 3 months as you stabilize. And I was like, see the quality of discussions that they are having, You find that for us, it's more of once you get to understand the best place to buy merchandise in China, you'll keep it to yourself. You want to be the only supplier of that merchandise in Uganda, while other people are pulling their brothers, cousins. We see the Indians. They are eating up the whole city because they are working together. Every now and then you see an Indian on a plane coming to Kampala to work.
They come with someone.
Exactly. So we need to wake up, embrace our culture, just as you said. You find that many people love to eat from these franchise restaurants, the KFCs, the McDonald's, etc. But you find that we hardly have any East African like eatery. Like, why? Because
it is worldwide.
We don't really see that we have really nice food. And yet, when you go abroad there, the pineapples they are not tasty at all. Bananas taste like as if
They're plain.
as if there is no element of sugar in them.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
we are rich in food, but we are not embracing the fact that
Yes,
we
we
can
are
also be able to impose
Yes.
on
our
all
own,
these other
yes.
continents
Yes.
what we are made of. You know, we are letting them own up the African story and erasing the whole African bit of it, you know. So it's high time that we woke up and we loved what we have. We treasured the uniqueness that is in us as the Africans. I mean, let me just end with this. There was where the African Cup of Nations was starting, different national teams donned on different cultural attires. And obviously, some stubborn countries, like my country, they put on no more sports, no more sports
Attire.
attire.
Jerseys.
Yes. And I was like, really? As other people are trying to exhibit
Yes. Their culture.
their culture.
Yes.
And as a national team that has been,
yes.
or that has an MOU with a body that is meant to market the country abroad,
Yes, yes.
then why don't you take advantage of that?
Yes.
And you don't own your culture dresses, you know? Those councils are very unique. They are very nice. Yeah. So we ought to embrace that.
So beautiful.
Yeah, we ought to embrace that.
Yes.
We look unique. I'm telling you, when I dress up in my kanzu and I put on this blazer,
Yes.
and we have all these other guys from different other countries dressed in their attires,
Yes.
I'm telling you, a Ugandan will always stand out in their way, you know?
Yes.
So we ought to embrace what we have.
Wow. Well, speaking of embracing who we are, nowadays I see so many openings of like maybe grants, fellowships. And I remember I was like listening just to prepare for the recap. I was listening to one of like the videos, and I remember Newell Birungi was talking about of how Ugandans should learn to write proposals.
Yeah.
Especially creatives in Uganda, how they should learn to write proposals if they are to be taken seriously as a business. And obviously, when we to talk about many people leaving, many people leaving the education system do not know how to learn to write proposals. But you know, like other professions have systems whereby there are trainings. We are training you to write a grant proposal. We are training you to do this and this and this. But now creatives, because most creatives are independent creatives. A fashion designer is a fashion designer alone, or maybe someone who's maybe helping them. And a poet is a poet alone. A singer is a singer alone. So there's a lot of like independence in creativity in Uganda currently. And obviously there's also associations, poetry associations, film associations, music associations, which could help. And I do not know if they're teaching that, because for some of these conferences that I go to, I do not hear that a lot. You know, I hear people telling, oh, you give a proposal, write a proposal to this one. But us getting ready for this even new AI, you know, era that you talked about, how do you think Ugandan creatives can be ready, can be proposal ready for what is coming, for the good news that is coming along our way?
One of those very important, crucial things that most of us really don't pay attention to as creatives is the fact that data is not meant to just fill reports. Data is meant to be analyzed. Now you find that from the beginning, most of us creatives don't want to write. We literally don't know the actions that led to the next 10 followers. You know, we don't know that we have been spending, say for example, 20,000 on transport daily to go to that studio.
Yes.
We don't know. You really, even when it comes to measuring the brand value, it is hard because you literally are not writing anything, or you literally are surviving alone. You lack any kind of administrator or a manager to follow up on your activities, to plan with you. So that should be the starting point of any creative. Focus so much on creating.
Yes.
And at least if you're not a good manager of your own self,
Yes.
or if at all you feel like you're not very good at writing, then get someone to help you follow up and just try to not jot down those different things you've been able to do in that day, how much you spent, what you are able to do, because at the end of the day you can put that together and get to know that, okay, these actions led to this and this. So it's really important that us as creatives, we look at capturing that data, because at the end of the day, it's what informs the proposals that we write. It's what informs basically the collaborations we are going to have. Because if you come to me as a creative and you want to collaborate with me, I want to first know, before you collaborate with me, do we have the same kind of footing to sit on the same table? I mean, you could be coming to me, yet you deserve to work with another smaller brand down there. But if at all I see, okay, you have these achievements, you have the achievements, and we can complement each other, then we shall come back together and craft proposals together.
Yes.
Nigeria is one of those countries that has won very many grants, especially in 2025. Why? Because they embraced collaboration. They embraced that if we are like 4 big brands and we come together and we craft a proposal,
yes,
there are high stakes that we are going to win that grant. While as for us Ugandans, we are busy.
Individual.
We see a call for maybe an opportunity, and we want to sit alone by ourselves, write the proposal, submit.
Make it about us and us.
But remember, one of the most important points in a proposal, they want to see the stakeholders. Yes, the money is there. For example, they're giving out $200,000. Okay, yes, they're giving you the money. But they want to know, do you have enough stakeholders on board that are well diversified in skill to pull off what you expected to do? So as one person, it's always impossible to do everything by yourself.
To be overwhelming.
Yes, and even if you propose in the proposal that, okay, I will hire a finance manager, I'll hire this, I'll hire this, I'll hire this one, I'll hire... Honestly, it doesn't really make... you can't win someone that has brought different stakeholders on board and has showed that they have even worked on other projects, you know? So it's high time we woke up and we started to write proposals, right? Let's sit down with people that are like-minded. Let's sit down with people that we believe can complement us if we worked on a project with them. Because every other day, there are grants being given out, but few of them come to us East Africans.
Yes, true.
Kenyans allow me just say this. Kenya is one of those highly recognized countries when it comes to creative writing. And recently, there was a funny report that was published that was showing that even when it comes to PhD research, for some of it's one of the biggest universities in the world.
Wow.
They are hiring Bachuba from Kenya to do for them that research.
Yes.
And why is it so? Is because they are good at writing, but you find that collaboration as us East Africans,
it has made us lag.
Exactly, it's making us lag behind. While our friends in Nigeria, because they have seen it in the Western world, they have seen people collaborate together to take on work. And that's why they're beginning to win a lot of these grants.
Wow. when we talk about the creative circumstances today of how people, and right now I'm talking about mainly innovators and entrepreneurs, whereby they're living hand to mouth.
Yes.
Like when they, in case they do not work, they're not going to eat. If they are sick, then there is no income coming in.
Yeah.
How can we improve on sustainability? Because when you look at venture capital, industries, there is a way for them. They know how to scale and everything. But how can creatives? How can they go into that venture capital so that they can learn how to build like sustainable, entrepreneurial or innovative ideas that do not need someone to be there. I remember Vusi one time talked about, like, if you're not away and your business does not run, then you're still employed.
Yeah,
You've just
exactly.
employed yourself. So how can creatives reach to that point whereby even when they are not around, and even we talked about it with even like some business idea you're telling me about, of how, we don't need to be there all the time. You need to, so how can that happen?
Now, one of those facts is that we have about 400,000 Ugandans in the creative sector.
Wow.
400,000 Ugandans in the creative sector. Emitwale ena. But you find that all of us,
actually,
yes, all of us, we contributed $2.2 million to the national GDP. That alone shows you a very big problem there. And you find that there are these two kinds of aspects. Most of us are taught to think, being a businessman. We are not taught to be entrepreneurs.
Yes.
We tend to confuse the two. But a businessman will always do so much of everything by themselves. Well, an entrepreneur creates systems that they have a lot of freedom, that they can be able not to be at a business and it will still make money.
Yes.
Because they've built systems, they have hired the right people, and therefore they can now even think of opening up another branch because they feel like the other branch is still running. Yes. And then, as a way of bringing about competition among the human resource, they are promoting some of the long-serving staff in the old business, and they are picking them and promoting them to this other new branch as managers to manage under new staff. So you find that they are creating sustainability. Now, most of us as creatives, you find that that is a problem. We are living hand to mouth because, one, we are taught that you must be seen at a certain level. We have a problem of identity. We think what we dress is what defines us. Therefore, I have to dress very expensive suits. We think I have to put on the most expensive sneakers. We think I have to be seen eating from Cafe Javas. We let the environment define who we are. And yet it's meant to be vice versa. So because of all that, you find that our money behaviors are very rotten. So we live hand to mouth. You're spending out each and every money you're making. We are not investing anything into things that keep on bringing money. Recently, there's someone who shared something that shocked me, and this was in the Bible in Matthew, that talked about getting part of what you have and you invest it with the bankers. Can you imagine? Long ago, the Bible was written, but someone had a revelation and put it in the book of Matthew that you had to save up some money and you invest with the bankers. This is in Matthew chapter 25, by the way. So you find that most of the money we get, we invest it into flashy things, very expensive apartments, or we go to very expensive hotels. We stay there. We buy very expensive cars. We are not investing for the future. Before you know it, it is hitting us in old age, whereby you find that most of the artists that seem to have made a lot of money literally are suffering in old age. Why? Because they literally never invested anything. So we must learn to embrace who we are.
Yes.
Let not society define where we have to eat from. Let's be real. Let's be us. And that's how we are going to be able to live responsibly, but also be able to paint a good picture for the young upcoming creatives, that they may be able to live sustainable lives.
So there is where you were talking, and then it brought me to, like, Rihanna came into, into the picture. She's a musician, we all know, but also she's an entrepreneur. And she has not done, I think, any album for, I think, now 5 years.
Yeah.
But in that, she has made more money as being an entrepreneur than even being as a creative.
Yeah.
And so I just began kind of like studying about her. I remember how I started to study about her. I was having a conversation with Abasa, and then she talked about more about Rihanna. And then I've been studying like her, her brand as her.
Yeah.
And then you get to realize that she has her music. She gets revenue from her music.
Yeah.
She gets revenue from her live performance. She gets revenue from her merchandise. And from her merchandise, I'm talking about the Fenty Beauty. And then she does collaboration. She does collaboration with all these different brands, with Nike, with all these other different things. And also she does influencing for many brands.
Yeah.
So now we all know that first and foremost, in the country where she's soaring from, it's a consumer country. It's a consumer market. Like, they love to consume a lot. And when we talk about Uganda, we are getting there. We're starting to be like consumer, but we are not so much into like consumption. Something is trending, we are all jumping on it and all being just ridiculously consuming things, except like a certain population, just a few people. When we are to talk about a creative in Uganda and how they can, because one thing that I got to realize that most creatives do not actually get money from the music that they distribute in the distribution, industries, but they get it from maybe live performances. I think that is from the Umex Atlas that was released, I think, last month. From the Umex Atlas, it was showing that most, like, it's the music itself is not what really brings in the income, but maybe the merchandise and maybe live performance and maybe these other different things like collaboration and influencer and being an influencer. So in the contrast, if you're to compare the US or an artist from the West and an artist from Uganda, how do you think we can, pull our strings up to make sure that Ugandan actually this time let me be specific, Ugandan musicians can put themselves to that level? Should we like go all in like East African? Should we like work for those bigger markets, East Africa, South Africa, West Africa, or we can just maybe say we can make it here in our Uganda? We just need to bring strategy or something.
Now, as any artist in Uganda, we have learned that the threshold usually of you becoming a star or being famously known, I think it has been at about 8 to 10 years in Uganda. Talk of the Sachulans, the Shiba, the Chameleons, they had almost 10 years buried down. That for us, at some point, we just thought that, hey, they just came out of the blue,
Yes.
But we have seen it. It's a fact. You're not going to come in the music sector right now and boom the following day. Yes, it has happened for some people.
Yes.
And if at all it does happen for you, then it is important that you find a way of being able to kind of stay there, because yes, you could sing that hit song that is going to make you known. Now, what matters so much is the things you did before you made that hit. Work on character. Work on systems early. before you sing that hit that is going to sell you so much. And once you're sold out and everyone knows your name, then it's important that because you know your character and because you know the niche of what you stand for, basically, it is going to help you govern you and be known for a certain kind of audience. And because a certain kind of audience knows you and trusts you, then because of that, you're going to be able to attract collaborations.
Yes.
And if you lack a manager or if you lack a team that you work with, then whether you want it or not, it's going to be it's going to be hard for you to get sponsors, to get collaborations from different artists. Why? Because you literally don't know how to leverage what you have best to grow that kind of brand that you can even just diversify into your interests.
Yes.
Now, in most cases, one thing that I've learned is use from your hobbies that you love, try to turn them into income generating revenues. Like, for example, if you love fashion and you're an artist,
yes,
take advantage of that. Because of the way you dress, try to get a designer and start to create a fashion label. From that, you will earn from that even when you're not making any hit song. You get? So you find that for most of the Ugandan artists, we are not embracing the fact that at some point I've hit and I'm known and I'm called to all radio stations for interviews. Once I hit that level, then it's important that I have a team. A lot of PR is being done. A lot of collaborations are being done, because at that point you're a hot cake. Everyone just wants to rub shoulders with you. And it's at that point in time that you have to do what matters, that is going to help you prepare for that time when you're not harvesting anything from your music, basically. Yeah. Those other businesses can keep you running. And before you know it, even in your old age, you will still have people that will stand by you because you did something with them. Yeah.
Wow. So let's just have, like, because we obviously wanted to do like a recap, and we wanted to talk about the conversations that we had throughout 2025, according to how you witnessed the conversation. How did it feel like to you? Do you think the conversations that we had are relevant enough for even Harmon of Minds? Are they relevant enough for the creative sector? Or like how
Well, I think the conversations we had back last year were really important, were really timely, because we live in an era where we are seeing very many artists becoming addicts on different things, drugs, alcohol, and a number of things, some sex, etc. And I feel the conversations we had really addressed so many of the root causes of some of the mental health issues that we are battling with. I mean, one of the so-called big artists we have in Uganda has been battling some of these things, and we have seen them. So we believe that there were over 30 guests that graced this podcast last year, expressed so much of the vulnerability by talking about some of those times when they were down, some of those moments when they felt they were insignificant, some of those moments when they felt they were not stars and yet they were injecting in much, how the kind of systems they put in place to keep them, to uphold them, that they stay grounded, but then also to have a sense of belonging, that each time they felt like they were lonely, they had someone to talk to, which basically explains the reason as to why so many creatives battle those issues, because they literally have no people around them. They have no people that they talk to, and they don't listen to such podcasts like these that have information that helps them basically get to understand how to deal with issues of life. So for me, I feel it's strongly strongly resonated very well with creatives out there, and I would like to call upon more creatives to listen into such kind of spaces, because you get to learn how to live life. You get to learn that you are not alone, that there are people going through what you're going through, and therefore you're able to become more resilient.
Wow. I like that last part when you talked to the creatives out there. First and foremost, I would love to thank you for being here with me to have this recap. We had planned to talk about the UMEX Ugandan Music Atlas, that I think we can do that. It needs its own segment because of the issue of time. But thank you so much for being around. I've had a great time. I wonder if you've had a great time. We've talked about so many things. We've talked about the creative business. We've talked about the resilient stories in the Ugandan, creative economy. We've talked about learning how to be writers as creatives, to continue writing, to continue doing research. I've talked about the importance of collaboration, not only as Ugandans, but also as East African and also as creatives. I've talked about how to handle the issue of living hand-to-mouth, creating systems that can help us, create and develop entrepreneur skills or businesses much more better, standing out, and also I would also encourage creatives out there that are multi-talented, is that you risk it all, do everything, put it all in there until you get that thing that will push you to what you want. Do not limit who you are. And today, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening in. Have a very great weekend. This is Kobsinge Jacqueline and
Emma Byaruhanga.
See